For today's video, I'll speak about the Essendon vs Sydney game that happened tonight. So it was a pretty good game to watch. Sydney a little inaccurate, but if you're a Bombers fan, you're probably pretty happy that a few nice plays coming through. A bit of a future there for the Dons. So some good signs. But I think we'll speak about the Essendon players first, and at the end of the video, I'll discuss my trades. A little bit off topic, but it is kind of related because I didn't get in Jordan Ridley this week, so it was looking. I guess we'll speak about Ridley first and Essendon players. So at this point, if you have him, you're probably just laughing at us non-owners right now, and rightly so. It was a bad miss, and the game was always coming where he was going to get 15 or so kickouts. I think he had about 14, so half his possessions from kickouts. Honestly, when they kicked it behind and you saw Ridley turn his back, you saw number 14 run and take the kick out, run 30 metres to get to the square. You just kind of, it's like, what do you do? But you just got to get him in ASAP. But yeah, I think in the first half he was minding Heaney. And yeah, he had his hands full with Heaney, but then what happened is Heaney got subbed off. He played on James Bell. I don't know how he's on an AFL list from what I've seen so far, but maybe still young, I guess. But and he was also playing loose, so basically did Ridley things, did whatever he wanted, took kickouts, took a few good intercepts as well early on when the ball wasn't coming to him as much. But yeah, must have, get him in ASAP, pretty simple. This was probably his worst game, to be honest, from what I saw. I guess, didn't have to play on Heaney anymore, which helped him a lot. Yeah, just get him in. I suppose you all have him in anyway at this point, but that's fine. Zack Merritt, oh man, he's a little frustrating to watch, just has a few errors here and there, and his scoring just doesn't tick over quickly. It's just ever so slowly. So the Dream Team score keeps going up and up, but the Supercoach one, not so much. I'm happy with Merritt though because he's super durable, and I value that very highly. So look, he might not even be top 8. I had him top 3, I think, because of the new rules and more CBAs and coaches said taking his game to the next level, but we haven't seen it just yet. But still, I still think he'll be probably around the mark, top 6-ish, hopefully, but wouldn't be surprised if he goes sub 110, but that's fine. Nick Heaney is worth talking about. So, amazing second half. First half was pretty much missing. The issue with Heaney now, if you have him, you're pretty happy. I'm still not sure he's a keeper. Feel like he's a sub primo, but just because no kickouts and doesn't really intercept much as a defender, it's a lot of run and carry, long kicks. But yeah, can accumulate though. I think the main issue is there's not much point getting him in because we have all these great mid-price or rookie forwards. Warner, MPZ, I have Atkins. He's doing okay at the moment. See how he goes. But and also, some of you also might have got Taylor Walker for 300k. So it's kind of just really difficult to fit him in and tough competition. So, but yeah, he looks good. But yeah, I'm not sure I think sub primo for Hind. Nick Cox, someone I pretty much wrote off before the season. Probably a bit of a mistake, and probably because I looked at his only really considered when he was like a 17-year-old because we missed a whole year of his development, so I didn't really know what was happening there. But for an 18-year-old, 200 centimeter player, very special and showing good improvement already, I guess, from his draft years, from when he last played NAB League or whatever. So if you have him, you're very happy. I thought this was a bust pick, but I've got it wrong. I think 2 90s in a row. Can play in the ruck, but yeah, looks really great. Very exciting prospect, Nick Cox. Jones, didn't really notice him much. Did 1 or 2 good things, but slow burn on the bench. Just chill for a bit. Maybe makes 150k. It's just that you have to wait for him to kick a bag. So Essendon haven't had the easiest opponents from memory. Can't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, with Jones, I guess it's okay. You just don't field him. You keep him there and wait for him to max out. And then Waterman. So I like Waterman a lot. He definitely an option next week. Not sure must have, but I think I want to grab him next week. Just looked good contested stuff. Took a few marks, kicked 2 goals. So because he's kicking goals, he's got to stay in the team surely, and they have a lot of injuries. So also him being 102, and I think his job security is okay. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like it'd be hard to drop him after his first 2 games. Big tick for Waterman. I bring him in next week for Brayden Campbell, who we'll speak about soon. Speak about the Sydney players. Jake Lloyd kind of died a bit in the second half, but it was a standard Jake Lloyd game, just getting the ball easily in defence, taking a few kickouts, not making any plays whatsoever, just hitting the kicks he should to let his teammates make the plays instead. So It's every Jake Lloyd game from the past 3 years, just in a nutshell, basically. Maybe Dawson, a few kickouts took him away from Lloyd, but that's whatever. Mills kind of died in the second half, and it's interesting because this is what happened when I watched his practice game. He was great in the first half. Second half was okay. Work rate was still pretty good. Couldn't get his hands on the ball. So, and that's the problem with Mills. I like Mills, and I kind of want him in defense. But we haven't seen a massive sample size in the midfield, so it's completely understandable why you wouldn't pick him. But he's doing great right now, and I wouldn't be worried at all. So he played good, mostly in the first half, but just didn't run out the second half as well. And I feel like a lot of the Sydney players didn't run out the second half very well either. A lot of the rookies didn't, and Mills and Lloyd didn't as well, but that's fine. Brayden Campbell, so his break even, I believe, credit to Bryce Mitchell on Twitter, I think it was 73. I'm more than happy to get rid of him. His time on ground is disgustingly low. Probably had a few clangers here and there, so that brought his score down. Don't feel super comfortable fielding him anymore because it's super low time on ground again. So that means, I just can't trust him on the field. Given his break even, you can hold him if you want, but not a super reliable field option as we initially thought. And I'm happy to get rid of Campbell, bank the 150k, go straight to Waterman. Chad Warner was pretty good. Mostly get better in the first half, but he's such a gun in the midfield. Just knows how to find the ball. Really good around the clearance. Pretty good. Just a good contested player. So that's perfect for Supercoach. Is he a keeper? You keep him for as long as possible. I think he scored somewhere in the 80s, but the tick for Warner. Whether he's a keeper or not, I guess it's irrelevant at this point, unless you're planning for it. But we just hold for as long as possible. Should get to 400k. More unlikely to be a keeper, but just because of these junior numbers were so high and his mid-time is really good. So don't want to put a ceiling on him, but from what we've seen, hold him as long as possible. Worry about that after. Gordon, poor second half, sort of. First half was good. When he was around the middle, he was really good, winning a lot of contested ball, I thought, from what I saw. I like Errol Gordon. I know the problem with this pick is now the 230 scores, one was 140, I think, but they're out of his system now. So, it's not going to be like a Sam Walsh where he gets to 500k, I don't think, unless he can pull out one of those scores again. But I still more than happy to field him over 90% of the other rookies. So he stays in for now, and nothing to say. Just obviously don't trade. Just chill for a bit. But we know he can probably kickstart that cash gen again with another big score, like he's shown he can. Lastly, Zack Heaney. I mean, if you have Heaney, did you expect anything else? My biggest issue with Heaney, and I didn't actually see the injury. I went to the toilet actually and missed it, but him playing forward means he flies for marks and does spectacular stuff, and it just feels, I just get nervous when he does that sort of stuff because I'm worried he's going to land weird and do an injury. So I need to actually see the injury. I haven't actually seen it, but that's my issue with him playing forward. And we saw with Sicily, he flew forward and did his ACL, but I guess that's just luck. But with Heaney, it's just unfortunate. We're seeing one of the most talented players in the league, and he just can't get a consistent run. And now he's just never getting a full preseason either. Hopefully his broken hand isn't too bad, so we'll see how he goes. Now, lastly, I'll discuss my trades for this week. So my trades, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to do Kazitsky to Chapman. So the reason for this is my initial plans were get rid of Campbell and Clark for Ridley and Waterman. But I think the overall risk of the trade, because I wasn't sure if Campbell had negative break even, what if he scored big like he did 2 weeks ago? Waterman, what if he has a terrific game? But I do believe, I was pretty confident he was going to be good. But it just felt a little risky overall with a trade, getting rid of Campbell and bringing in Waterman. Anyway, so what I want to do this week is, next week I was planning to get Dev Robertson, but this week Heath Chapman was available, and I knew I wanted one of these plays. I like Dev Robert a lot, but the problem is he's expensive and his job security's not good enough, despite the fact that I'm pretty confident he will score well. And maybe if he does stay in the team when Barry comes back, maybe he loses lots of mid-minutes. Because he was playing wing and inside, I think, from what I remember. But with Heath Chapman, his job security I believe given Fremantle injuries, it's hard to see him being dropped. He's a ready-made defender, interceptor, can rebound. And also I don't have to field Jordan Butts anymore. Well, I love Jordan Butts. He saved me last week, but with a key defender, it's again, as I've always said with Butts, it's going to be 40, it's going to be 80, 90. It could be lower. Those sort of scores. So very up and down, but yeah, I do like Butts a lot, but I just don't feel comfortable fielding him every week. So I'll field Chapman. I'll get rid of Cozzy. But yeah, I just thought grabbing Chapman was just a bit hard to pass up this week. And yeah, we'll get Ridley next week and no more pain, hopefully. But that's all. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you guys soon.